Hello, everyone. My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Seder. Today, we are talking about Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Carriger. This review will contain spoilers, but if you would like a spoiler-free review, check out my blog on Tumblr. There will be a link in the description. Alright, so I saw this book at the bookstore and just knew I had to read it. It had so many of my favorite elements 1800 society, steampunk aspects, but as it turns out, the tone of this book wasn't at all what I expected. And I couldn't be happier. I was expecting this book to be romancy and a little dark, but boy was I wrong. This book was lighthearted and fun and never got tedious like so many of this genre. It takes place during the Victorian period in England, a time when vampires and werewolves are attempting to be properly recognized in polite society, and where it is practically social suicide not to own household mechanicals. The main character, Sophronia Timonek, and trust me, the names get weirder, is the youngest girl of the many Timonek children at the age of 14. She is somewhat mischievous and has a knack for climbing, spying, and wanting to be in the know at all times. This behavior drives her mother absolutely mad, so when a mysterious woman claiming to be Mademoiselle Geraldine of Mademoiselle Geraldine's Finishing Academy for Young Ladies of Quality, Mrs. Timonek immediately sends Sophronia off to become a proper young lady. But not all is as it seems, for after being attacked by flywaymen on their journey, discovering the school is actually a flying machine floating in the sky, and being escorted up there by a werewolf, Sophronia learns that not only will she be learning how to be a lady, but also the art of espionage. So, for most of the book, we follow Sophronia on her mini lessons as she learns how to be a lady and also how to poison all of her guests at a dinner party. But we also follow her on her quest to discover what this mysterious prototype is. She learns of this on her journey to the finishing school when they're attacked by the flywaymen. These men knew that the imposter, Mademoiselle Geraldine, had the prototype and they wanted it. But as it turns out, the imposter, who is actually Monique de Pelouse, the antagonist of this book, had hidden it away, so the attack was all for naught. Monique was actually on her finishing assignment, but upon returning to the school without the prototype, the teachers demote her to a debut and is thus forced to room with all the new recruits, including Sophronia. Sophronia makes many friends along the way, including Dimity, her best friend and fellow student, Vive, the niece of Professor LeFaux, who is the meanest and scariest instructor aboard the ship, and Soap, who works as a sooty in the boiler room and who also might be a possible love interest in the future. I don't know, who knows? She is only 14 after all. Sophronia puts her training to the test when she, Soap, and Vive break into Mademoiselle Geraldine's sister's school, Bunsen's and Lacroix's Boys Polytechnique, to discover what the prototype is. While there, they find out that the prototype is actually a device used for a wireless communication device, which is very important considering that the telegraph has failed. This has now made it imperative that Sophronia find out what Monique has done with it and why she would hide it. She later discovers that Monique has hidden it while at Sophronia's house when she was sent there to fetch her, and knows that when she returns home for her sister's coming out ball, it will be her only opportunity to get it back. While at the ball, Sophronia and Dimity manage to retrieve the prototype before Monique can hand it over to neither the dandy from the government nor the evil pickle man who wishes to use it for nefarious reasons. She had discovered along the way that none other than her mother's friend, Mrs. Barnacle Goose, had recruited Sophronia for the school, so she gives her the prototype for safe keeping. Once she returns back to the ship, they discover that all is well, they have the prototype, and everyone has decided to keep Sophronia's secret and let her keep on spying. And that's pretty much it for the summary. It was a lot of fun. More things do happen, but that was the main storyline. So, what I loved most about this book is that it was just a really fun read. It was very lighthearted and silly, but still remaining very serious, and the author did not make it seem like it was a joke. I really loved all the etiquette and the social aspects of it because I just absolutely adore Victorian society. But then they also threw in the bits with the supernaturals and how Professor Braithrope, who is a vampire, is very conscious of his attire, and it was just a very, very fun read. I actually was so absorbed in the story that I have already checked out the next book in the series, which is Curtsies and Conspiracies. I'm not too far in it, but I can tell you that I already love it. I think it is going to be just as much fun as the first one. So tell me, dear listener, what did you think of the book? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Am I wrong for how much I loved it? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments. I am also reading Ask the Dark, which I'm not quite sure about this book yet. It is a kind of a mixture between Catcher in the Rye and The Knife of Never Letting Go. I am intrigued by it, but I'm not quite sure about it yet. So, as it stands right now, I can't tell you which one I will be finishing first. I have a feeling it's going to be Curtsies and Conspiracies, but hey, you never know. I might just sit down and just try and do Ask the Dark in one sitting. But either way, I will see you guys next time.